Good afternoon. This is Senator Melisa Franzen with the weekly update. So this week is our second week of session. It already feels like almost the end of session because it's really quickly. Everything's happening really quickly. Bills are already going to the floor. Our first deadline is just on April 1st, so committee processes are starting to take up bills and starting to hear in the limited time we have a host of issues and bills that we're going to move forward with. I'm happy to report that I'm on the Transportation Conference Committee in the Senate. We met for the first time this week and we went through the bill that came through the House and Senate last year, and we went through all the details, and hopefully this year we'll be able to make some big impact in transportation infrastructure investments, and we're looking forward to doing that with the House. I like to say that Edina, West Bloomington, Eden Prairie, Minnetonka are well represented. Both Representative Earhart in the House and myself serve on the committee, so we will be able to help shape the transportation bill for this session, and hopefully we'll be able to report some great success at the end of session. The other things that are happening this session, and I've heard a lot of emails coming through and read a lot of emails coming through regarding the Real ID. I do sit on the task force for the Real ID, and this is the federal law that impacts Minnesota's ability to have identification cards comply with federal requirements. We are looking into the issue. We actually passed a bill that is going to be heard on the floor next week on Monday, and this bill will help our Department of Transportation and other stakeholders in the government to be able to figure out how to implement this in a way that protects privacy of consumers and residents in Minnesota and also complies with the safety requirements that we are looking to also be able to implement in our state. So with those two updates, there's really a lot going on, and I'll try to be brief here today. We did have the governor came with his budget proposal, which came up in a big number in my opinion, but it's a good starting point to talk about the investments that we should be making in Minnesota. One in particular is on early childhood education, which I see that the governor is putting a lot of focus there. Just for a prop, I do, if you get today's paper, the Star Tribune, we have a nice story about a bill that I'm leading, the Minimize Coalition, which not only tackles the issue of early childhood scholarships, but also programming for home visiting and investments there, which align really nicely with the investments that the governor is looking into with his budget. The other piece that I'm really interested in is also in Health and Human Services, which is a committee that I vice chair here in the Senate, where the investments made there are certainly necessary with the issues of mental health, access to mental health services and others, and safety in our state hospitals and security hospitals and other important issues for Health and Human Services. We certainly are welcoming those discussions in committee. And with that, I will, of course, always hear your comments and questions that we can answer here in our office. We appreciate the time, and I'll get back to you next week with more updates on this quick and short legislative session. Thank you.